Types of C constant. So in this topic we are discussing about types of C constants. So there are various C constants. C constants can be divided into major categories. First, primary and secondary. So there are two main categories, which are primary category and secondary category. So in primary category there are integer, real numbers and characters. So this comes under primary category. Now in secondary category there are array, pointer, structure, union and enum. So this is a table for C constants category, that is primary, secondary, and these are two blocks in which it is divided. For constructing these different types of constants, certain rules have been laid down. These rules are as under. So we cannot construct this constant in any manner. So there are certain rules which has been laid down. Laid down means they have been applied. So there are certain rules which have been applied. These rules are as under, so as follows. Rules for constructing these integer constants. So first were integer constants, and rules for constructing, there are certain rules for constructing those integer constant. First, an integer constant must have at least one digit. That means first is it must have at least one digit. Then B, it must not have a decimal point. So integer cannot have int, integer cannot have a decimal point. So this is second rule. Now third rule, it can be either positive or negative. So we can apply a negative sign also, but it can be either positive or negative. So this is third rule. If no sign precedes an integer constant, it is assumed to be positive. So if there is no negative sign in front of or before an integer constant, so it is considered to be positive. So plus. Now no commas or blanks are allowed within an integer constant. So we cannot within an integer constant we cannot apply comma that we do in our day-to-day work. For example, if we want to write like $1,000, so after one we give a comma and then we write those three zeros. So we cannot do this in this language. No commas or blanks are allowed within an integer constant. So this is rule D. Rule E. The allowable range for integer constant is -32768 to +32767. So rule number F is the allowable range. That means the range in which we can apply integer constant. That means we can do calculation is 32,768 to 32,767. Truly speaking, the range of an integer constant depends upon the compiler. So it depends upon range of this integer constant is depending upon the compiler. For a 16-bit compiler like Turbo C or Turbo C++, the range is -32768 to +32767. So it depends upon the compiler. So this compiler is 16-bit compiler like Turbo C and Turbo C++. These are 16-bit compilers. So for those compilers, range is this.